Hey, I'm glad you're here, Wendy. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready to go? You ready? Come on. Ready?
What's with the baby bag, Steve?
That's why we're here. There's a baby shower today. You haven't heard? Oh, you're in for a treat.
Baby shower?
Baby shower. That's what I was told. Come ready for a baby shower.
I think
that's what I was told to call.
You know, you and I keep getting our emails, our communication crossed because
What? How do you get baby shower? It is what it is.
We're going to meet a baby animal, but there's not like a party. What presents did you buy? Let's call Keeper Cat.
Education jerking to Keeper Clausen. Educate. I'm not sure. Let's just go knock on the door.
Yeah. Let's
come on.
Go, Steve.
All right, come on. This is amazing, Cat. So, why are we here with this cat? Cat?
So we're here to introduce you to our newest little animal at the desert.
Yeah?
This is Layla, our 10-week-old sand cat.
10 weeks old. That's amazing. And we're taping this on October 23rd.
Yes.
And we did the brand new name today.
Yeah. So just today, through a contest, the name Layla was picked for her, and that means daughter of the night.
Daughter of the night. What a great name.
Yeah, and it fits.
Does it?
They are a nocturnal species.
Okay.
So daughter of the night is perfect for her.
That is so neat. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are watching, this is who the baby shower was for. Gotta love having... Are any of you listening to me? Digital guests, are any of you listening to me?
No, Steve. They're
Why?
staring at the kitten.
They're not listening to me?
No, I mean look
but
at this cuteness. I can't stop. Look how cute.
But it's Cat and me here talking about cats.
Who's here?
Cat Clausen, Keeper Clausen.
Oh, Keeper Clausen. I love Keeper Cat. But
we're going to come back to Keeper Cat. Digital guests, come listen to. Golly. Remember, this one is taped, guys, so we are there answering your questions. Some of our friends and colleagues are there too, sharing their information and knowledge. So ask those questions. That is so cute. So let's go a little bit behind the scenes.
Okay.
So the breeding program, so this cat was born, quote unquote, on purpose, right? So this kitten was born on purpose through one of the zoos, what's it called? SSP, right?
Yeah.
SSP?
Yeah, SSP, Species Survival Plan.
Okay.
There are not a lot of sand cats found in zoos.
Oh, okay.
So she was purposeful. We definitely wanted some kittens.
Sure.
To add to the genetic pool of sand cats.
All
to
right.
keep their genetics nice and healthy.
And that's kind of the goal of the SSP, right?
Yes.
To keep, so the animals that are in those accredited zoos,
Yep.
there's a plan
Yep.
for that breeding program.
Yeah, and her parents, Najma and Cosmo, are not been represented.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she's got some pretty unique and important genes.
Nice. And so who's mom here? Which one is mom?
The slightly bigger one is Mom. That's Najma. And her name is actually Arabic for star.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so Daughters of the Night and Star. That works.
Yeah, it works very well.
Very cool.
So but baby Layla is definitely catching up to her. They grow very quickly.
They sure seem to, that's for sure. So we know that they're about, I don't know, maybe pushing a foot tall, pushing a foot long.
Yeah.
Maybe 7 pounds.
Yeah.
Did you guys get a weight of Layla when she was little?
Yes. Well, not when she was first born.
No,
we
yeah,
were
yeah,
very,
sure.
very hands off. But she probably weighed about 70 grams, which is like an ounce or so.
70 grams.
Did she fit in a tiny teacup?
She probably could have. Yeah. Very, very small, like just a little peanut.
Wow.
But now she is probably over a pound.
Nice.
So in 10 weeks, she's grown super quickly.
That much? Yeah. And if I remember right, is a penny is 2.5 grams.
Yes.
So a penny is 2.5 grams, guys. So kind of look at that math.
So a lot of pennies. At this
A lot
point.
of pennies. Do the math, guys. That's your job, digital guests. You have calculators at your fingertips.
Yeah,
That's
so
amazing.
She's over, I forget the last weight. Over 500 grams. I think she might be close to 700 grams at this
Wow.
point. Yeah, so you
So
can do the conversion.
Pushing some pound, pushing a pound and a half maybe.
Yeah.
That is crazy cool. So, you mentioned that this is Najma, and Cosmo's not in here right now,
No.
right? Because in their natural spaces, breeding happens,
Yeah.
and then the
And
mom
then-
dad separate.
And then that's it.
So
Yeah.
that's why we've separated them here. We want to make sure that we're kind of mimicking that natural behavior as much as we can. So
Yep.
mom raises the kittens.
Yep.
And it's Najma and Cosmo's first kitten. Again, Najma the mom. Najma's who's Wendy's showing you right now on the camera. Did you see anything neat or special or interesting, or what was going into the pregnancy? And then during the pregnancy, and then of course since. Have you seen anything changing in Najma? Najma, is she a good mom?
She is a really good mom. It was really fun to watch her kind of figure it out. In the beginning, she was kind of like, oh, there's this little thing here.
It's a toy.
What is it? But she was pretty protective in the beginning, and
Yeah.
she would stay with the kitten at all times, which is what we'd like to see, especially when they're newborn.
Right.
And then even just kind of days and weeks later, she would do a more natural behavior and actually leave the kitten for a while.
Right.
In the desert, they're going to leave to go find food, and they might be gone for a while, and they'll come back. And it was
Okay.
really, she's been teaching the kitten how to walk. So they would have these dens that the kitten physically couldn't get out of. So she would go in and actually pick the kitten up, put it on the ground, and then walk away to get the kitten to move and come back to her.
No
Yeah, to
kidding.
learn how to walk. And we've actually seen her showing the kitten how to play with her enrichment. Anything that's in there at this point.
It's all a toy.
Yeah. So Najma doesn't really play with stuff normally. So when we're putting these smaller toys or enrichment in for the kitten's like, I don't know what to do with
Right.
this. And Najma would go over to it and actually play with it, bat it around, kick it a bunch, stop, look at the kitten, and be like, okay, come on, your turn. and do it.
Really?
Yeah.
So literally teaching almost in that moment.
And we will throw crickets out there, and she'll show her how to hunt the crickets.
Oh, wow.
So that's been really fun to see.
That's so much fun.
So on top of being mom, since we have a singleton, she also has to be a playmate.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and she's been really good with that job. Every once in a while, you'll see her get tired and be like, no, and
Go away.
she'll go to a spot the kitten can't get to, and just kind of sit there for a bit.
Yeah, I wonder if any of our digital parents can feel that line.
Yep, me.
Cat's raising her hand. Hey, digital guests, real quick, just want to let you know, Wendy's doing her best to keep up with the kittens and the cat. So give Wendy a little bit of a shout out, give her some kudos here. And realize, too, that we're still in the desert. This is, again, October 23rd while we're taping this. We don't know when it's going to air. The desert itself is still closed.
Yes.
We hope to open it soon. The aviary, it is, again, October 23rd. The aviary is open with limited folks coming in. The view every once in a while from Wendy's camera, you might see a blue tint or a blue haze. That's what's in here. It's a kind of blue and green lights in the nocturnal part of the desert habitat. So I just want to let you guys know. Some of you may be having some questions about that. Wanted to give you guys a shout out on what's going on there. Woo! Somebody just took off running.
Hopefully they were listening to you. They're having a fun time over here.
Oh, are they? See, I can't. I've got a pole in the way right now, guys. My digital guest, help me out a little bit. So they're having fun. Apparently, because Wendy hasn't said a word.
Yeah.
We know Wendy's usually a little bit more engaged with us than this. Wendy,
I'm in a kitten trance.
kitten trance. So says Wendy.
That's very understandable.
That is so neat.
I don't know how you get any work done, Kat.
It's pretty hard. Yeah, it's definitely difficult. Luckily, we have a lot of really awesome coworkers that'll help us out. We do a lot of wellness checks to check on the kitten, see what she's doing.
Those aren't wellness checks, Kat.
We do a lot of observations.
Digital guests, are those really wellness checks and observations?
It's all in the name of science, Steve.
Come on. She is
I
adorable.
know. I'm very, very lucky to be able to work with these
So
guys.
many congrats to Najma and Cosmo
Yes.
and you guys too.
Thank you.
Because you guys set these guys up for success.
Yeah.
And that's amazing, Kat. So congratulations
Thank
to you
you.
guys as well. That's not a small thing.
It definitely took some time to figure it out. And
Because they've been together a little bit, haven't they?
yeah, it took over 2 years of planning and trying things and
Yep.
retrying things and false pregnancies, and then finally we got a little kitten here.
Wendy's getting her steps in. So let's come back for a heartbeat on the breeding,
Yes.
on the SSP and the first kitten and all that, which is really exciting. But I think we need to make sure that our digital guests know that when they're in those breeding programs, when they're going through the breeding, it's not just for the kitten, right?
No.
It's a lifelong process.
Yes.
So you don't just breed for the baby, right?
No.
There's a plan.
There's a plan. So the SSP coordinators, they actually look at all the sandcats that we have,
Right.
and they will actually make decisions on who to pair up with who will make the best match genetically.
Right.
So Layla will be here for a little while, but they do reach sexual maturity pretty quickly for cats, like probably around 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So around that time, the SSP makes a decision, and then we'll send her off to another zoo so she can have her own family.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, since it's a smaller program, we kind of know who has sandcats. There's not
Okay,
that
sure.
many zoos that do, and we can know who she's getting paired up with, where she's going, if she has her own kittens,
Mm-hmm.
and we get to follow her for
Right.
her whole life.
That's kind of neat. So it's so important to remember that, guys. So we're here at the zoo, and any of their zoos accredited by the AZA. You're breeding for a very specific purpose, and there's a lifelong plan for that. In this instance, we'll say Layla. So Layla they brought Cosmo and Najma together in order to maintain and create that genetic diversity. They've done a great job. Amazing kitten and mom here having a lot of fun. But Najma won't stay here because they'll want Najma will stay here.
Yes.
Layla won't. They'll have Cosmo and Najma maybe breed again, trying to maintain and create that genetic diversity. So that plan goes through from the planning of birth, through birth, all the way through life and death, guys. I would love to be able to tell you that our animals live forever. And although they live longer under the amazing care of the accredited zoos that are out there, still, there's got to be a plan for that entire life cycle. Mm-hmm. And the zoo takes that very, very seriously. a little bit of serious, yeah, like you can.
I don't like my job at all, Steve.
No, I know you don't like your job at all. That's funny. Well, let's talk about sandcats a little bit. Since we're here, okay. Layla's amazing.
Yes.
Layla's name. We said it came through a contest.
Yeah.
Hey, Wendy, how about a quick shout out to our contest winner?
Oh, yeah. So to explain to our digital guests how she got named.
Where did the names come from?
So we picked, the keepers actually made a list of names that were relevant to the areas and cultures where these guys are found.
Okay.
We have Arabic sandcats, the subspecies sandcats, so the names are either Arabic names or in the Muslim culture.
Okay.
So Najma is Arabic for star,
Mm-hmm.
and Layla means daughter of the night.
That is so cool.
And so we had about seven names.
You couldn't decide.
We actually had about 14 names.
Of course you did.
But then we found out she was a girl, so we went to the girl names. And that narrowed it down to like 7.
Okay.
And then our bosses narrowed it down to 5. And then we had a contest, or a drawing rather, for a person to enter the drawing.
Right.
It was randomly picked, and that person got to pick the name from that list.
And that person was. Did any of you guys put a name in?
Drum roll.
Did you guys put your chance in to draw that name, to select the name?
I couldn't. I tried.
The winner of the contest was Trina Black. So thank you so much, Trina, if you're watching.
you.
And those of you that did try to win that, thank you so much for participating. Our keepers and all of us, it's always awesome when you guys take part and interact with us, even if it's through the zoo, those contests, all of those things. So thank you guys so much for being part of the zoo family.
Not only to get to pick the name, but what else did she win, Kat?
Um,
What else did she win, Kat?
So she gets a chance to come and actually meet the sandcat. She's going to come in and do a tour.
Oh, cool.
And meet the sandcats, meet the whole family.
Nice.
Do some behind the scenes. And then I believe she also got a sandcat plush.
Oh,
of
of course.
I have 2. They're very cute.
Cat, you get to work with the real cat. right? But
Yes.
you needed a sand cat plush too?
Yeah, well, they were baby shower gifts for me for my son, and he actually sleeps with one every night.
Nice.
So it's his favorite kitty.
Nice, good deal. So you guys realize I'm wearing a different mask today. I had the clear one on for a long time. Since we were going to be so close, that clear mask doesn't quite have everything we want as far as the care, so I hope you guys can still hear me. I'm trying to talk louder, so I hope you guys are still working. So I want to let you know what's going on with the mask right now. So she's over here, Wendy, like you have been following her. So they're from, you said the name is Arabic, so they're from Africa?
Yeah, so they are found in the deserts.
Okay.
They are a true desert cat. And they are found in the deserts, the Sahara Desert, kind of around the east and the west sides, and then also in the Arabian Peninsula deserts, and all around the Middle East. But very difficult to find. They're very sparsely populated. Most people in the United States have never even heard of them.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so it's having this kitten is definitely going to bring more awareness to these beautiful cats.
They are
I
amazing.
mean, it's really cool little kitties.
And they live exclusively in the desert.
Yes.
They're one of the few, if not the only cat, that is it. I mean,
That's it.
desert is home.
Yes, and they'll live in different kinds of deserts. The Sahara deserts are definitely a lot more sandy.
Yep.
But it does have some brush, some shrubby
But not much.
bushes, not very much. So that's what they'll kind of sleep. They'll find a little thick bush and they'll sleep under that.
Wow.
If there is trees around, they'll actually be up in the trees.
Oh, cool.
They'll actually sleep in robin's nests.
Oh, no kidding. That's
These
awesome.
bigger nests. They'll actually sleep in those abandoned nests. And then also in the rocky deserts, they'll find little burrows for them to go in. And kind of excavate it themselves. They're very good diggers.
I saw that. Yeah, their claws. They don't.
Yeah.
They're full. Their claws aren't fully retractable, right?
Not completely,
Right.
at least from what I've
but
seen.
not all the way.
Yeah, not all the way. They're a little
Helps
bit more
them with digging.
blunt.
Right.
They're a little bit less sharp. And
You think of the rocky habitat, makes sense, right?
Yep.
They're bouncing around on the rocks.
And the adults have that fur that covers the pads of their feet, so they don't burn their feet, and so they're very quiet when they're hunting their food. But right now, Layla does not have those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can see the little toe beans.
Nice.
But as she gets older, those will grow in and cover up those pads.
Sure. Wendy was showing you guys, the digital guest, she was showing you the idea of one of the graphics that we have here. I love the unique drink. Realizing they get all their moisture, all their water from the food that they eat. Does that mean they don't ever drink water here at the zoo?
So before actually we had Layla, they barely drank water. I would see Najma and Cosmo kind of playing in it. They would like dip their chins in it.
Neat.
This is just what I think.
Sure.
We have seen Najma drinking more since she's had Layla, and Layla's gotten more active. And the kitten will come over and also drink too. And I'm thinking because she is breastfeeding,
Producing the milk.
she needs more moisture, so she's taking it from the water. So we always provide them water, even if they don't really need it.
Okay.
But in this instance, it seems like she needs it.
Okay, that
and
makes sense.
she's still getting, all the mice and stuff. Too.
Right. It's getting out the moisture from everything else. I love one of the things that we talked about last time. So there's another episode on sand cats, guys, that we did a while back before Layla was here, and Najma and Cosmo were actually together. You just mentioned it, and I think it's kind of fun to revisit. These guys live in a really extreme environment. And then if you compare that with some of the animals of the Arctic, another really extreme environment, there's a lot of similarities in their adaptations and their lifestyles. You talked about the fur on the pads of the feet. So do polar bears. So do the Arctic fox. They've got that fur to protect them from the cold. And then another thing that both groups, the sand cats and other animals of the Arctic will do is they'll hide some of their food. I think it's amazing when there's not enough, when there's not a lot, you better make do with what's there.
Yeah.
And if you can hide that
exactly.
food.
And so we didn't see that behavior too much when it was just the adults.
Yeah.
But as Layla started getting older and started eating solid foods, we would find Najma doing that.
Really?
Yeah. So
no kidding. That's cool.
So she would take whatever mice, she would eat one, and then she would take another mouse and just put it in a den somewhere for the kitten to come and eat.
No
so
kidding.
she was leaving food, which is probably something they would do in the wild as well.
Neat.
And that's amazing that's sort of it's got to be an innate thing that they know because she's never been a mother before. Right. So she's now doing things that a mother would do.
Yeah, great point, Wendy. Hearing, Wendy, have you got any pictures of the sand cats yet? Have you got any video that's worth watching? You think?
What'd you say, Steve?
Do you have any good video of the cats?
I don't know what you're saying.
I didn't think so. Have you about the ears? Can you show an ear?
Yes, I can handle that.
Can you show an ear, please?
I can show 4 ears.
She gets a little carried away, Cat. She just,
It's okay.
It's like it's a cute kitten or something.
I know. This is, justified and understandable.
Justified. Do not give Wendy any more reason to stay here.
Baby fever.
So let's talk about the hearing a little bit. The hearing is incredible. Again, in that desert habitat, you've got to be able to take advantage of whatever senses you can because the food is rare.
Yes.
So how do you find it? And we know these guys have an amazing sense of hearing.
So you can see even on the kitten, the ears take up a lot of space.
They sure do.
They're a little bit short, but they are very wide. And that really helps them find their food, which lives underground. So they're able to hear just the tiny littlest scratches of whatever's underneath.
They're hearing under the surface.
Yes, under the ground.
Whoa!
So they do a very similar hunting technique that other foxes will do, is they get real still, and they get real low, and they listen, and then they jump.
Really?
And then dig really fast.
We've actually seen them doing the same behavior while they play.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Have you?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that because I've been interviewing Cat.
Keep doing your job, Steve. I'm doing mine. Don't be jealous.
Yeah, whatever.
So
Now I want to make one little clarification for everybody because you said it. I'll make sure that everybody. This is a cat, right?
This is a cat.
Not a dog, not a fox, but they
No.
have that similar type of behavior
Yes.
style.
Yeah, definitely.
that a fox
And
has.
if
That's
anybody
neat.
knows about fennec foxes, this is like the feline version of a
Great
fennec fox.
comparison. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That makes total sense because they have that same. They live in the same habitat, live in the same lifestyle.
And,
That's an amazing.
So those low
connection.
sounds, the light, soft sounds, the low sounds, those big ears really going to pick up on, and that's how they communicate with each other. They actually have a very low bark that they do
Really?
to communicate with each other. So mostly to find mates.
Okay.
Maybe some territorial disputes to find mates and also to find their kittens. The other day, Layla actually made that bark. It's the first time I ever heard her do it.
Wow.
And she was just in the back with us, and she was just standing there, and she just went. "Arr." And I was like, okay.
She's doing something.
And then Mom came. I was like, what are you doing?
That's funny.
And they do other vocalizations too. A lot of the same, like hissing and they do purr. I haven't heard a full-on cat on your
Which
lap
you would
purr.
think, yeah.
But
Cat on your lap.
But Najma does do this cute little communication with her kitten, like, hey, we gotta go, just a little prr, prr.
Oh, really?
She'll do that with Layla and kind of move her around.
Yeah.
So all of that sound to hear your food, to hear each other, because there's so much space in between, just figure out what's going on.
And they're a desert animal, but they have a pretty dense fur coat. Is that another advantage to the cats?
Yeah, so since they are nocturnal, they come out at night,
Yep.
and night in the desert's actually pretty cold.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah.
There's no vegetation really keeping that in, that heat or from the day, so it just kind of goes back up into the atmosphere. So it gets very cold. So they actually are kind of built more for cold than for the heat. In the heat of the day, they are hiding and sleeping, but that thick, very, very soft fur keeps them nice and warm.
No, you can't pet the cat.
And it also keeps the sand off of them.
Oh, of course, that makes sense.
And they can kind of shake off the sand.
Gotcha. Hey, Wendy, Cat did a really good demonstration, Keeper Cat, of how heat is released back in the atmosphere. Can you show our guests again how the heat, because she was over going through all these demonstrations, how the heat is captured and then released in the atmosphere?
Yeah, so with all the vegetation that we have, it captures the heat from the day, all the plants and everything. But in the desert where there's less, it just kind of goes back up into the atmosphere.
How about that, guy? Ladies and gentlemen, Keeper Cat,
Atmosphere.
demonstrating the air in the atmosphere. Thank you, Keeper Cat. We appreciate that. What else do our guests need to know about sand cats, need to know about Najma or Layla, even Cosmo?
Yeah, so a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, look at the little house cat, and especially with the kitten. But there's definitely differences if you sit down and look at them. Their coat is different, their head is different, their body shape is slightly different.
Their head is big. I mean, it's bigger than I thought.
Very big head.
That is cool.
To hold those big ears, the inner ears are very large, to hold those really big eyes that they use to see at night. They also have very big jaw muscles. So they have about 3 times the bite strength of a house cat.
3 times?
Yes. So these guys are not pets. They're not house cats. You can't get one. And
you really don't want one, because
really
they
don't want
are
one.
fierce animals, right?
Yeah.
They are. We talked about that last time. I remember you
Yeah.
were mentioning after you said the 3 times. They're a hunter. They're not made to be sitting in your
No.
lap, as you mentioned earlier.
Yes, and they've got to be really good at it because there's not a lot of food in the
said.
desert.
Yeah.
So if they're going to go out and spend that energy, they're going to be pretty successful as much as they can be.
Gotcha.
So 3 times the bite strength of a house cat, and just really good little hunters.
Yep. Hey, Wendy.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's like herding cats. That was a good one. Herd cats is hard because they're not like sheep and stuff. Wendy, can I show our guests something?
Sure. We just have to be under this.
Kat, would you mind holding the Muppet for a sec?
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much. I want to show you some footprints, guys. I hope you guys can still hear me. I think you can. Kat's like, how do I work this Muppet
Just
thing?
hold it.
So check this out.
Come under it a little more to your left.
Can you see that?
Yeah, there you go.
There's a cougar.
That's huge.
That's a cougar's footprint. Okay?
It's very big.
That's a cougar.
I
We've met cougars before. We met Olive and some of the other cougars down there.
Yeah.
That's a bobcat.
Put that one next to Cougar.
No. That's my job. Now I got to move things around in my
Put
hand.
them on top of each other.
Now I got to do this. Put them on top of each other. Let's do
Yeah.
this first.
Okay.
So cougar, bobcat.
Let me guess. You're going to show us another one.
I'm going to come running in. Run.
Oh my gosh, that's so tiny.
That's a sand cat,
But look
guys.
how
Here's my
different
thumb.
it looks. That looks really like fluffy, like you can't see the toe beans like you were saying. There's toe beans, no toe beans. And is that because of all the fur?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they had to probably press pretty hard to get this little imprint. But yeah, it's all the fur kind of folding over those toe pads. And it makes it more look like fingers.
This is Cosmo, by the way. If I'm not
tiny.
mistaken, this is Cosmo's footprint.
Yeah.
And it was. He walked over a real soft foam. And he was
Almost like
stepping on that.
floral foam, but softer to get that footprint.
What kind of foam?
Floral?
Floral foam. Do you know what floral foam is?
Yeah, it's the stuff you get at the craft store. You can stick fake
Okay,
flowers.
Oh,
you need
for
to buy
plants.
your wife more flowers, Steve.
She gets plants. And one more comparison for you guys, just so you guys can get an idea of size again. We'll go with 2 different cats, but they're the same idea. So you've met cougar, bobcat, and sand cat. How about this skull?
Wow,
Replica. Jaguar.
that's big.
Cat, you're doing a great job with the Muppet, by the way.
you.
Wow.
We'll have to bring her with us more often.
No, she's
Cat,
like
carry
a
the Muppet.
really good Vanna White.
So that's Jaguar, followed by Ocelot. Whoops.
It's not broken, it comes apart.
Look at that. Go, Steve, go. Jaguar, Ocelot. You've met Ocelots before as well.
So
Have
the
many jaguars.
size different is...
Look at that. Now, there's not a whole lot of sand cat biofacts out there. These are called biofacts, life information right here. So I'm going to keep the Ocelot out. Because you know how small the Ocelot is. And this is about the same size of a sand cat's skull. Maybe a little bit bigger, especially for a male. That's Ocelot.
An ocelot's about the same size as a bobcat, roughly.
Right, very similar. About 3 times the size of a house cat. About the size of a house cat.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? I love being able to get you guys to see
Size,
how
yeah.
when we say small, we mean small. That's a little cat that's taking down all kinds of prey items, including venomous snakes, guys. They can eat venomous snakes.
Yep.
What?
There we go. I
Now
couldn't see you. You look like a guy just hanging out in a dark alley talking about animals.
Come here, I have facts for you.
Now we look like a guy lighted in a dark alley talking about
let me tell you
animals.
about animals. Facts for sale. Facts for sale. I think, is there anything else we want to mention? And again, crazy. Trina Black, contest winner. Thanks for picking
Yes.
Layla. And Layla, once again, is about how many weeks old on October 23rd?
She's almost 10 weeks old.
Almost 10
10
weeks
weeks.
old on October 23rd, because this is, again, obviously a taped episode.
And our desert building is still closed, but we are working on logistics of hopefully opening up buildings
Yep,
sometime.
aviary is open.
Sometime
Aviary is open, but with COVID trending not quite the way we want it to trend. Here at the North Carolina Zoo, the zoo itself is open, aviary is open, Kid Zone is open.
Yes.
So we got a few places that you can be going in and checking out. And the park, of course, is beautiful this time of year. So if you're looking for a place to get out, you want to get out of your house, the North Carolina Zoo is open and here for you.
And 500 acres to spread out.
Exactly. When you're here, again, timed tickets, make those reservations. About 3,000 people still is what we're maxing out at. Wear your mask when you cannot socially distance. So like when you're at a habitat, please put it on. We're just protecting you. We're protecting our guests. We're protecting our animals as well. So please wear this while you're with us at those habitats. If you're walking the paths and there's nobody else around, you're just in your family group, you can take it off and catch that fresh breath. But when you get to the habitats, we're asking you to please wear this for your protection, for the protection of all of our guests and the animals as well. We're still hands off with a lot of our mammals here at the North Carolina Zoo. Birds and reptiles too, because we just don't want to take that chance when we don't have to. So for your Zoo Adventures team, remember Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 o'clock, we're always here for you. We're so excited to see you guys all the time. We love interacting with you, and thank you so much for all the amazing comments and kind things you tell both Wendy behind the camera and me, Steve, in front. We appreciate your time.
We could not do this without you guys watching.
Well said, Wendy. Thank you very much. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed meeting Layla and Najma, and we'll see you again soon on Zoo Adventures. Bye, y'all.
Are you done talking? I want to go look at the cat.
Yes, you can go look at the cat. She gets a little crazy over there. You see how it is who it is.
I'm still filming.
Oh, sorry. You can hear me. Can you hear me through your ear thing?
I'm just going to cut it. Bye, everyone.